There are times people ask me that, ma'am, you've never been into depression. मैं ये कहूँगी कि कोई भी इंसान ऐसा नहीं होता जो डिप्रेस्ड कभी नहीं हुआ होगा. There are different I would say a time period for depressions. There are some mild depression, some moderate and some severe. हाँ, मुझे भी depression हुआ था. I wouldn't say I did not have. We've been talking about depression time and again. It is not only about pandemic which has caused depression in most of us. It is not just the loss of. Many of us know that we are suffering depression. हम में से कितने लोग हैं जिनको ये पता है कि वो डिप्रेशन से गुजर रहे हैं या वो डिप्रेशन के मरीज हैं? How many of us know that stress, anxiety causes depression? There are many underlying facts. Depression is just not one cause. There are many causes of depression. But how many of us know all this? I think barely few. How many wants to admit this? Handful of them. और डिप्रेशन के जो मरीज होते हैं या जो डिप्रेशन के साथ सफरिंग करते हैं, उनमें से कितने लोग हैं जो हेल्प लेते हैं? Not many. What it is which is stopping us and what it is that we don't know, that we need to know. Depression is just not caused overnight. It is not a syndrome. It's not something, it's not a disease, it's a disorder. I wouldn't say a disease because disease is something which, causes some kind of dysfunctionality. But disorder is what? जो आपकी चीजें aligned नहीं है for a time being. It's a temporary thing. It cannot be a prolonged one unless you wish to be a part of it. Hello everyone, this is Jyotie Jagwani from Original Vastu Vgyan OVV. My concern today to talk about this topic is because regularly I have been called, I've been asked about depression. I've been asked about remedial things, in depression, how to cure depression, how to come out of it. There are times people ask me that, ma'am, you've never been into depression. मैं ये कहूँगी कि कोई भी इंसान ऐसा नहीं होता जो डिप्रेस्ड कभी नहीं हुआ होगा. There are different I would say a time period for depressions. There are some mild depression, some moderate and some severe. हाँ, मुझे भी depression हुआ था. I wouldn't say I did not have, but I overcame. It took a bit of time, it took a lot of efforts, but I overcame. In how I overcome, how I have overcome all this, I will be sharing with you in coming time. But my most important question to all of you is that, do you all think that keeping silent or shouting too much is not depression? Depression reoccurs. Disconnection from the world, from the people you are associated with. Isn't it depression? What is it? A mode where you cannot open up. A thought pattern you have in your brain that some part of your brain nerves get tweaked and you feel that now I can't talk to anybody. You feel low, you feel guilty about yourself. You feel disconnected from everyone. You start judging yourself, you start judging others. You become critical towards yourself and to others. That's depression. Or looking after yourself way too much is also a depression. You would say, तो फिर दुनिया में कुछ भी ऐसी चीज नहीं है जो डिप्रेशन नहीं, ऐसी बात नहीं। हम अपने आप को उतनी इंपॉर्टेंस दें जितनी जरूरत है। अगर मेरे लेयर्स हैं, there are different layers in this. You got to address each and every layer of it. पहले आपको स्ट्रेस होगा. Initially you will start feeling stressed about something. Maybe stressed about your relationships, or maybe your financial conditions, or maybe your health. Or it could be the social life, it could be the peer pressures. For kids, it could be the school, the academics, parental pressure on academics. There are various things of depression. पहले ये स्ट्रेस की तरह एक बलून में एयर जैसे आप फिलअप करते हो, धीरे धीरे बलून बढ़ता है, राइट? आप कभी भी बलून में हवा भरोगे तो एक साथ इतना बड़ा नहीं हो जाएगा. It takes a bit of time to inflate it. जब आप एक बलून को जब बड़ा करते हो हवा डाल करके, till what extent you can fill the air, you should know. If it becomes too tight, chances are there the balloon will burst out because आपने उसको ज़्यादा कर दिया. That is the time when you need to know that you are part of depression. This is just the beginning of a big, huge, so-called social stigma, depression. Are we thinking of it? Is it a social stigma? Or it's a thing which we need to talk about it and come forward and help people? We don't. Usually we don't, right? We never talk about ourselves and set an example for others and make them feel that, oh, you can too come out of it. No, we don't do that. We feel if somebody knows about my things, my weaknesses, I'll be vulnerable to this world. No, I wouldn't be, ever. Get out of this shell. That's the first step. You need to take it. It's not a disease, but it's a mental disorder which can be rectified with different kind of therapies and different kind of activities, I would say. Because when I had gone through depression, I was given antidepressants, but I never took one. Not even one. Because that is going to have an adverse effect on you. Thankfully, I was at a very mild stage. Very mild stage. I overcame. Because of the fact I read a lot. I do a lot of activities. I communicate with people. So my personality is such that I can't live in that mode for a longer time. I need to overcome. I need to know people better. I need to know myself better. And that's where I realized, no, it's not the thing which I need to live on with. I have to get out of it. I tried various things. So the first thing you need to understand is cut your pattern. Because when you're depressed, you follow a pattern. What is a pattern? Pattern क्या होता है? You eat at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. अगर आप उसको लगातार 2 महीनों तक करेंगी, वो आपके सिस्टम में हो जाएगा, वो आपका एक पैटर्न बन जाएगा. फिर चाहे आप 2 महीने के बाद तीसरे महीने में 2 बजे नहीं भी खाएंगे, जैसे ही 2 बजेंगे घड़ी पर, और आप देखिए, आपको घड़ी देखने की भी जरूरत नहीं है, आपको भूख लग जाएगी, because your system has accepted that. So that becomes an habit, a pattern. आपको डेवलप करना होता है और कुछ पैटर्न्स को ब्रेक करना होता है. So first thing in depression, what happens? You have sleep problems, like disturbances in sleep. Either you sleep too much or you sleep too less. You kind of eat too much or eat too less. You get into a mode where you're only listening to, sad songs, or you're only throwing temperaments, or you're only crying. See, crying is okay, but to a certain extent. You cannot keep crying over and over and over and again. 26 crores of people are suffering through depression. All over the world, I'm talking about, not only India. इंडिया में तो इसको कुछ समझा ही नहीं जाता है. The saddest part is that we don't want to tell people that we are going to depression. अगर यहाँ पर किसी की बात चलती है कि वो डिप्रेशन में है, तो उस लड़के और लड़की के रिश्ते आना बंद हो जाते हैं. This is some kind of social stigma इसको कहते हैं. अगर हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ के बीच में झगड़ा होता है और इसको किसी एक को कहा जाए कि ये डिप्रेशन में है, तो कोर्ट पे उसके अगेंस्ट पे अच्छी खासी मुकदमे बनाए जाते हैं डिवोर्स के लिए. सो इट्स बिग थिंग इन इंडिया, एंड उसको अच्छी तरीके से मैनिपुलेट करते हैं बजाय इसके कि उसको हेल्प करें. The person comes into a denial mode जो डिप्रेशन में होते हैं. वो एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर पाते हैं इस बात को. उनको लगता है कि अगर हमने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया तो पता नहीं इसके और क्या कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस होंगे, क्योंकि मैंने जैसे बताया था कि कई सारी चीज़ें से जुड़ी होती है और वो उसकी हेल्थ को नहीं, उसके बाकी चीज़ों को यहाँ पर प्रॉब्लम देती है. बहुत सारे तरीके हैं. मुझसे लोग पूछते हैं क्या वास्तु में, न्यूमरोलॉजी, एस्ट्रोलॉजी या इस तरीके से किसी भी साइंस में क्या ऐसा कुछ भी है जिससे हम डिप्रेशन से ओवरकम हो सकते हैं? सी यस, आई ऑलवेज से यस. बट जो डिप्रेसिव बंदा है वो उस रिचुअल को कभी भी पूरी शिद्दत से फॉलो नहीं कर सकता. द पर्सन कैन नॉट इफेक्टिवली फॉलो द रिचुअल्स एंड डू इट इन अ रूटीन फॉर्म. A. B. The person does not take that much of effort to do things as the other normal person, I would say. So it takes a bit of time. I wouldn't say it would not, it takes. So who should come to a consultant like me? Their family members, their relatives, their friends, anybody who wants to help them. Just break your pattern and create a new pattern. अगर आप मान लीजिए सुबह 10 बजे उठते हैं तो आप 8 बजे उठने की कोशिश करें. अगर आप खाना शाम को 4 बजे खाते हैं तो 2:30 बजे खाने की कोशिश करें. अगर आप वॉक्स पे नहीं जाते तो शॉर्ट वॉक्स पे जाइए, मे बी 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. अपने रूम को रीऑर्गेनाइज करिए. In case if you're living in a joint family, then focus in your bedroom. Reorganize. अगर आप अपने काम से ऑफ ले चुके हैं तो काम पर दोबारा जाइए, maybe for an hour or 2 or 3, whatever is possible from your end. Do that little bit. Every step matters and go each step a day. वो चीज़ें करिए जो आप नहीं करते आए हैं. Do activities which you have never done it. उसका कारण बहुत सिंपल है. मान लीजिए आपको पेंटिंग्स नहीं आती, आपने अपनी पूरी लाइफ में कभी पेंटिंग्स नहीं की है, या आपने कभी स्केचिंग नहीं की, या आपने कभी स्विमिंग नहीं की है, या आपने कभी साइकिलिंग नहीं की है. Anything which you have never done in your life before, उसको ट्राई करिए. आप सोचेंगे क्यों? Why shouldn't I do the same things which I've been doing? जब आप कोई नई चीज ट्राई करते हो, आपका जो एफर्ट्स है उस पर ज़्यादा लगता है, तो आपकी फोकस उसमें ज़्यादा आती है, and eventually that brings concentration, and that helps you to overcome the mental disorder which you're talking about, depression. We'll be talking more about this And yes, with Vastu and Numerology and Astrology, we can overcome this. In case if you like my video, do leave a comment and give me a thumbs up. In case if you feel that this needs to be shared with someone you love, you care, you please do. And also help them to come out of this. We'll be talking more on this. Thank you so much for watching me.